Could the most powerful army of the ancient world survive even 1 hour against modern soldiers? 2,000 years apart. Two different worlds of war. On one side, the army of Qin Huang, China's first emperor. 10,000 disciplined warriors who forged an empire through iron, order, and fear. On the other, 200 United States Marines, equipped with the deadliest tools humanity has ever created. Now, imagine time itself fractures, and both forces meet on a barren plain. No reinforcements, no escape, just ancient might versus modern firepower.
Let's set the stage. The year is 221 BCE. China has just been unified under the iron rule of Qin Huang, an emperor obsessed with order and eternity. His army, the Qin legions, are the most organized fighting force the ancient world had ever seen. 10,000 men, archers, spearmen, chariots, cavalry, every weapon standardized, every soldier replaceable. Now, through some impossible twist of time, that same army materializes in a 21st century desert. Facing them, 200 Marines from a modern expeditionary company. No airstrikes, no reinforcements, only what each side can carry. It is the ultimate question. Can ancient discipline withstand modern destruction?
The Qin army was a weapon of pure control. For decades, China's warring states tore each other apart until the Qin built something new. Total unity through fear and precision. Their soldiers marched in perfect formations, drilled endlessly. Iron weapons gleamed in the sun, standardized by imperial order. Spears 3 meters long, bronze swords sharp enough to pierce through leather and bone. And above all, the crossbow, capable of killing from hundreds of meters away. Every squad of 5 men functioned as one. If one fled, the others died beside him. Cowardice was punished not only by death, but by the death of one's entire family. This was not just an army. It was the embodiment of imperial will. But would that will mean anything against the Marines' world of steel, gunpowder, and precision optics?
Across the field stand 200 Marines, the tip of modern warfare. Each one trained to fight, survive, and adapt under the chaos of any battlefield. Their rifles, M4 carbines, accurate beyond 500 meters. Their armor, Kevlar and ceramic, capable of stopping a bullet that would shatter bronze shields. Their communications, instant, digital, unbreakable. A single Marine squad of 13 carries enough firepower to destroy an entire ancient formation. Automatic weapons, grenade launchers, machine guns capable of 600 rounds a minute. But even with all that power, numbers matter. And 10,000 is a sea of bodies. If they get close enough, the modern age might find itself overwhelmed by sheer mass.
The Qin advance first. Drums echo, banners rise. A wall of shields and iron spears marches across the plain, moving as one, relentless, unshakable. The Marines dig in. Thermal drones mark the approaching formations, range 800 meters. Then the first command. Engage. The desert explodes with sound. Machine guns roar. Tracer rounds slice the air like red lightning. Men in bronze and leather collapse before they ever see their enemy. The Qin crossbowmen fire, thousands of bolts in a single volley. But the range is too short. The bolts fall harmlessly into the dust. Within minutes, hundreds of the Emperor's soldiers are down. The modern age has spoken, in lead and thunder. But the Qin do not break. They advance again. Lines reform. Officers shout commands through horn and drum. They press forward, fearless, relentless, certain that victory comes through sacrifice. The Marines adjust positions, conserving ammunition. Grenades arc into the advancing mass.
Explosions tear open the formation, spraying iron and dust into the air. At 100 meters, claymore mines detonate. The front ranks vanish in fire and shrapnel. And still, from behind, the second wave pushes forward over the fallen.
Then, the unthinkable. A small unit of Qin soldiers reaches the Marine line. Swords flash, spears thrust, modern rifles switch to close-quarters combat. Bayonets lock. The air fills with screams and gunfire. For a moment, the ancient world bites back. A Marine is struck by a bronze blade. Another is dragged down under sheer numbers. But training and technology prevail. In seconds, the engagement collapses back into chaos. And then, silence. Within an hour, the field is littered with the dead. Of 10,000 Qin soldiers, fewer than 200 survive. Of the Marines, fewer than 10 casualties. It is a slaughter, one that history could never have imagined.
The outcome feels inevitable, yet it reveals something profound. The Qin army represented the peak of human coordination before technology. They fought with unity, courage, and will. But the Marines fight with information. Where the Qin relied on strength and sacrifice, the Marines rely on data, optics, and fire control. Every bullet, every movement, every command amplified by machines that extend human senses beyond nature's limits. Remove that technology, and the equation changes. If the Marines were stripped to swords and shields, if the playing field returned to iron and muscle, then the Qin's discipline might have carried the day. But war evolves, and evolution, like time, never moves backward.
The clash between Qing Shi Huang's legions and the U.S. Marines is more than fantasy. It's a reflection of what war has always been, a mirror of our progress and our destruction. The first emperor built his terracotta army to guard him for eternity. But even they, frozen in clay, could not protect him from time. Every age believes its warriors are the greatest the world will ever see, until the next age proves them wrong. Iron yielded to gunpowder, gunpowder to industry, industry to the algorithm. The Marines would win this battle, but in another 1,000 years, even they might fall to weapons yet unimagined.
If the emperor's army could not survive against modern soldiers, what would happen if the modern world served the emperor instead? What if the U.S. Marines didn't fight the Qin, but joined them to conquer all of ancient China?